Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the FB4 Daily. It's Sunday, it's the 18th of August. I'm nervously watching the golf, and yeah, let's see how we get on tonight. Tonight's show is brought to you by Paddy. Paddy is a bookmakers, and you can get their app on the Apple or Android stores. If you gamble responsibly. Go on there. You can get odds on Liverpool, on football, on all the sports and everything else beyond that. If you don't gamble, don't worry about it. Just disregard everything I've said. I do that chat every single night, and I have to talk myself through it because most of the time I forget what I'm saying and doing. I have a head like a sieve. But listen, I've titled this one tonight, Grass is Not Always Greener. And the reason is because there's been a lot of talk today around Coutinho and now Emre Can, all the Emres. So I just wanted to see people's thoughts on this. I still haven't checked if Coutinho's being confirmed to, if he's being confirmed to Bayern Munich. I haven't even seen him. Has he been confirmed? I don't know. But what I will say is there's rumour coming out today that Sarri doesn't feel he needs Emre Can, and look, we're going to have to see what goes on there. But I just wanted to kind of bring it up because, these are two players, Coutinho in particular, that we're seeing as, the big shining light of Liverpool going back 2 seasons ago. He was going to be the main man under Jurgen Klopp, and then all the fallout happened with regards to his transfer, and he had a bad back the eve of the season, and then he played really well, and then he disappeared. And he went off to Barcelona for a record fee for Liverpool at the time. But you think these players are starting to regret it? That's what I'm trying to ask, I suppose. They're players that have left the club. They're players that, I suppose, when they leave, that they're looking to go to bigger and better things. Coutinho in particular went, and it was his dream to go and play for Barcelona and win the European Cup, and that didn't really go that well. So I just want to see what people think with regards to Coutinho and with regards to Emre Can. For me, there was a lot of talk of Coutinho coming back during the summer. It didn't happen. It's one of those things where it looks like he's loaned to Bayern Munich now, and Coutinho doesn't want to be at Bayern Munich, does he? I don't think he does. He doesn't, for me, look like the sort of player that, does he suit them? He may do, but he may have to play him in midfield, and a lot of people don't believe he can play in midfield. So again, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. Emre Can has gone to Juventus. It looked like he wanted more regular football. He left on a free transfer. He goes on the free transfer, and it doesn't happen for him. He thinks that he's going to be a regular in the Juventus side. It never happens. I think there's players playing ahead of him week in, week out. He seems to be a really kind of fringe player. So I just want to see what people's thoughts are on Emre Can and Coutinho. And I suppose the question being, I think the answer is, have they improved since they've left? And has their career improved since they left? The answer is an emphatic no. But are they the sort of players that you think, do you know what, they could? I'm trying to see where they fit in at Liverpool. Now, I said all summer I'd take Coutinho back, and I still would. But the likes of Emre Can, could anyone see Emre Can getting into Liverpool's team nowadays? Because I don't think we could. Barry asked, Gav, how was the chat with Avi? I'm having a chat with Avi later on tonight. I'm going to record it, and I'm going to release it on YouTube sometime during the week. I will let you know when that's happening, and I will give you the heads up and the whole lot like that. So absolutely, listen, we will be speaking to Avi, and we will be putting something out there. Well, Holland Rob asks, do you think the new high line will be kept, as we seem very open to counter attacks? The new high line is definitely 10 yards higher than we were last season. I always say the key to a high line in any football team, no matter what way they're playing, whether they're on top most of the game or whether they're a little bit defensive but keep a high line, is you have to have pressure on the ball. I think the high line, if we're going to keep it, I think it will get better and better as the season goes on, as our fitness improves, as our adjustment to playing that way kind of gets better. I don't see a problem with it. I really don't. Hitting Frank says, "How are you, Gav?" That's Ian. Gav or Ian, how are you? I'm absolutely fine. Mick says, "Oh, Mick is in with the random stuff. Favorite 80s movie." Now 80s movies in general for me is not a good topic. Because as I've said before, I've never seen various blockbuster kind of box sets, as you call them, trilogies and different things. Harry Potter, Lord of the Rings, Rocky, James Bond. My favourite 80s movies, if Ferris Bueller's Day Off was in the 80s, which I believe it was, I'll go with Ferris Bueller's Day Off. How does that sound? Tiger Tracy says Cam was rated because he had a good hairstyle. Highly overrated player. I don't think he's a highly overrated player. But you know the way you see a player leave a club and then you think, oh, we've kind of outgrown that sort of player. I think we have outgrown that sort of player. That would be my thing. Looking at the style of play we play, you see, like let's talk about the high line and Emre Can and that team. I don't think Emre Can can put enough pressure on a ball for a consistent amount of time during the game to suit. I think he's quite good if we're in control of games. He's really good technically and stuff like that. But I'm looking around, I'm thinking, will I have Emre Can in ahead of any of our players? And I'm going to say no. Now I'm probably going to get absolutely eaten alive by people that don't like Jordan Henderson and James Milner and stuff like that. But you need to really watch James Milner and Jordan Henderson and what they do for this side. For argument's sake, I had a little argument on Twitter with somebody during the week about Jordan Henderson, and they were saying, no, he should have been let go a season ago, and the usual stuff that goes on, right? And the point I made was, I was at Anfield last Friday against Norwich, and Jordan Henderson was playing in midfield, and what he done was, he actively came out towards the right-hand side, and he was telling Mo Salah, you don't come back, stay where you are, because when we nick this, you're the man we're going to hit. And he was actively telling Salah to go away, stop trying to come back, and he was willing to fill that position for him, that position in front of Trent, and help out. So I don't know if Emre Can would do that, so we'd have to wait and see. Barry Carr says Emre Can was the most vital player to us getting top four. I'm not doubting the guy's ability, but I just don't think Emre Can right now would suit us. And I'm not here to champion him coming back or anything like that. It was just a few comments and a few tweets and a few reports I've seen today with regards to him. Is he now looking at it going, Jesus, I got to a Champions League final, I played in it, it didn't work out, I didn't sign the contract, I went to Juventus, bigger, better things, I'm going to be, a poster boy for them for years to come, and now it doesn't look like it's happening. It's just, there's a show players how big Liverpool are now. There's a show players how big we can become and how we're growing so fast. Wilfred Ndidi is basically Emre Can. I don't watch enough of Ndidi. He scored today, a header against Chelsea. Really good game that actually. Leicester should have won it. They were really, really good in the second half. They missed some really good chances. Maddison missed an absolute mishit the thing, and he scores. Can't unlove that at Juve. Shame on Juve. Can it be immense centre back next to Virgil? I don't know. I really don't know, but it'll be interesting to see, because if these reports are true, the chances are Emre Can is on his way out of Juventus, whether that's a loan deal or a permanent transfer. He could look to go back to Germany to improve his international chances. I know he's used kind of right back and stuff for Germany, but you might see him going back to somebody, I don't know, pick a team in Germany, a Leverkusen or somebody like that, and he goes back and he tries to establish himself again. This would be a knockback for Emre Can. It really would. What cans are you on tonight, Barry? Says Alan. Barry was definitely on cans the other night. If Barry is going to deny it, fair play to him. Leicester was missing sitters. What else is new? Yeah, they missed one at the Etihad at the second last game of last season, which would have done us a massive favour. But I thought they were really impressive second half. They bullied Chelsea. They had a good tempo about them. They went from controlling the game second half to dropping off and hitting on the break, and they were really, really good. Just one or two passes going astray. Mikey asked, is there any news regarding Klopp's contract? If we do a deal with Nike, they would want to know. I haven't heard anything on Klopp's contract. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. But I'm not bothered over it. He's 3 years left on it, lads. He's 3 years left on this contract. There's no need to worry. There's no need to get. I would get worried if we got to January 2021 and he'd 18 months left. Then I'd start to worry. I really, really would. But I don't see anything. I think Klopp is still, for me, feels like he's building something at Liverpool. He's everything in place. He's adding to the staff season on season. He's really, really building something. And I can't listen. If Klopp goes and wins 3 league titles in the next 3 seasons and a European Cup, he'll probably go, lads, listen, I've given you fucking 3 league titles and 2 European Cups. Can we leave it there? My only worry, as I've said before, is the year he's out of contract is the year the World Cup is on, and Joachim Low might turn around and say enough is enough after that World Cup. And then, listen, if Germany aren't all over Jurgen Klopp at that stage, they're mad, and that's where there might be a little bit of a worry. But right now, I've no worries whatsoever. Barry is genuinely delirious from cycling the Inishowen 100 today. Is that 100? I presume that's 100 kilometres, Barry. I'm delirious just fucking reading that, but I'm being honest with you. So, listen, if you've done that, absolutely fair play to you. Skipper Dog, I've never seen your name on YouTube, but very, very welcome. Klopp is happy at Liverpool and has a great team and owners will back him. Yeah, there was a really interesting bit during the week. He was asked a question and I suppose the interviewer was trying his best to, make out that the story's a bit of a spoof, but I think he was looking for an angle as well, talking about the owners had supposedly told him that don't worry about the League Cup and the FA Cup. It's all good. Prioritise these 2 competitions. Klopp laughed, said, "Where did that come from? I haven't had that conversation," and that was put to bed. I'm gonna try say this name. Balouzian. Did they do that good? Bbalouzian. Coutinho is the one that can unlock the midfield. I'm kind of torn on this because for me, our midfield is functional. Now, I know people want to see, I know people would love to see a really, smooth, De Bruyne kind of type player, say, in our midfield. And listen, I take Kevin De Bruyne every day and twice on Sundays, but it's so functional. It's so about. It's more about when we don't have the ball, closing spots off, pressing, winning it, nicking it, and getting it to probably one of the 3 in midfield, who then gets it on to 1 a fullback or 2 one of the front 3. They're so functional for me. They are so functional. So I don't know. I liked the way Oxlade-Chamberlain played there today because although he does work hard, he has got that extra burst of pace and directness that a Milner or a Henderson does not have. Henderson has a great engine on him. That's no problem. But I just think they're so functional. That may develop as the team works on. I think if we win a league title, for argument's sake, the fear amongst other teams to us would make them drop off and be absolutely fearful of us, a bit the way they do with City, and then we could pop someone into that midfield. But I think we've great options in midfield at the moment. Liverpool versus everybody, please stop with the "we need Coutinho" stuff. Time to move on, as if he's the only option out there that would unlock a defence. Yeah, and I think we unlock defences in a way. We're quite incessant in what we do. It's pass, it's side to side. There might be triangles on one side and then switch it quickly and open out the space. Basically trying to, get Mane, get Salah one-on-one or an overlap and stuff like that. Unlocking the defence usually when it's just getting a fella in that position, inside right, inside left, centre of the pitch, and he's turning looking for a little through ball over the back for the fox in the box type striker. I don't think we do that, so we'll have to wait and see. Trevor Beattie says, "Are you from Dublin?" I'm from Kildare but living in Meath. I am from Dublin. I'm living in Meath too, but I am originally from Dublin, yes. Let me see. Maverick says, "I like the look of Danny Cabios. He would have been a good signing." There was a lot. We are linked from a lot. I know Ian from Paddy Power who is Hit Him Frank on this broadcast, he was all over Cabios. He couldn't believe we weren't going to put 35, 40 million down on him. Highly rated him. But it didn't happen. But again, I've seen a little bit of Cabios on the highlights yesterday against Burnley. Looked quite good. But I wouldn't be making any massive aspersions or any predictions on players 2 league games in. I just really don't. I like to see little bits and pieces. I'm all for little bits and little snippets that you can kind of pick up on, look at, and remember, and see what way the player may develop as the season goes on. Barry asks, what's the odds on Sancho to us? If Ian is still watching, he may be able to go and have a look at that for you. Chris says, I'm looking forward to the Arsenal game. The wins over Newcastle and Burnley have papered over the cracks of their shaky defence. I thought they were very poor against Newcastle from what I've seen. I thought yesterday, I believe Burnley gave a really good account of themselves. But it's the sort of game Arsenal do win at home. You know, they are flat track bullies. They really are. I said to you last night, and I predicted now that we're going to hop off. We're going to hop off Arsenal next week. Ian says there's nothing up yet for the next window, so there's nothing there about Sancho at the moment. Maverick says, I'm not convinced about our ability to unlock defences and needs a Ziyech type player to give us another dimension. Maverick, I swear to God, if we sign Ziyech, I'd say you will be the happiest man on the planet. You absolutely love that guy. But we'll have to wait and see. Listen, we're 2 games in. We won our first one 4-1. We went off to Turkey. We won the European Super Cup. We travelled back. We shuffled things around a bit, you know. And shuffling around on top of only being 1 league game in, a tough enough place to go in Southampton, and we went and won the game, you know. And it would have been more comfortable if it would have been 10 games down the road. It could have been 3 or 4, but we went and we won it. Any thoughts on Shaqiri not getting game time? Funny you asked that. I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they reckon that Shaqiri wants out of the club. Apparently he's not happy. He's not happy that the fact that he's not getting a look in either the midfield or attack. He's being very limited in his appearances. There's talk he wants out, and something could happen by the time that the European window closes. I hope it doesn't. Simply because we don't need another player going out of the squad. We really don't. Mick says he thinks Arsenal will be tougher this year than usual. Arsenal are a really good side and usually come to Liverpool with a really good side, and then they shit themselves when they get to Anfield for some unknown reason. It's like they get caught between their philosophy of football and the idea of being at Anfield with 55,000 in there going absolutely berserk, and they just seem to lose it. I don't know what it is with Arsenal. But the way I look at Arsenal is going in there, if they're going to go in with Guendouzi and Cabios and you know, these guys, the Socrates at the back and David Luiz and stuff like that. There's so many areas we can get at them. There's so many ways we can get at them. So it's just for me. It's just for me that I just feel that Arsenal really have. Look, Pepe is a really good player from all accounts. Lacazette is a great player. Aubameyang's a special player for me. They have got options going forward and stuff like that. But I just feel if you smother Arsenal a little bit, get on them, turn them, you can get at them in so many ways. Like that, Maitland-Niles is that a right back he plays, really fast player, looks good going forward, penetrating runs and everything like that. Defensively shocking. The only one I actually rate at the back for them would be Nacho Monreal, and for me he should have went in and played centre half. That's the way it is. But I just think there's so many. But look, we'll get to the Arsenal game as the week goes on. We will touch on that probably Thursday, Friday. We'll have a free bet for the game. By the way, if you're watching this on Twitter, just hit the share button, share it onto your timeline. People might pick it up, watch it, go with it, and see how we get on. If you're watching on YouTube, you're very welcome. And if you have not subscribed, just hit the subscribe button. You subscribe, you hit the little bell icon. Every time we come on, it'll pop up. You're going to need that because this show comes out on most nights 10 o'clock. Some nights could be 7:30, 8, depending on different things. But I always give people plenty of notice. But we're doing different things now around fantasy football, interviews, and basically we're going to pre-record them and release them on YouTube. So, you know, you will need that little bell icon on, and as soon as it goes live, people will know. And when you can watch it then, you know, we won't be pushing it like we push this, and you kind of, this becomes part of your schedule, because I've no doubt that people are putting their dinner back or forward or different things to listen to this show. Yeah, right. But how about 12? Liverpool to be 12 points from 4. I've said I'd take 10. I genuinely have said I'd take 10. And you know what? If we beat Arsenal, I'd want 12. If we draw with Arsenal, I'd want 10. I expect us to go to Burnley and win. I think we've this Burnley hoodoo, or Burnley are this and Burnley are that. Burnley have developed over the seasons, and it hasn't done them it hasn't done the best with regards to the bigger clubs. They've tried to be a little bit more footballing about what they do, and I think that suits us. So I'd take 10, but if we beat Arsenal, I'd want 12. I'm not getting alerts for some reason. YouTube is weird that way. The best thing to do, if you are not getting alerts for this show or our channel, the best thing to do is just unsubscribe, subscribe again, hit the bell icon. It'll work itself out. YouTube can be mad at times, you know. That's why people have always said to me, only do YouTube, and I will never only do YouTube. You know, on its own forever. I will always use Periscope as much as I can, but we are putting some stuff on YouTube because it's just easier for when you pre-record stuff to put it on YouTube. It's difficult to put onto Periscope when you pre-record it. But yeah, we'll always have stuff on Periscope, because there's loads of people that watch us on Periscope, and they're all sound. So if they want to be on here, and then there's people that download who are sound as well. People that download, I know loads of lads that'll message me, oh, nice show, where's this, where's that, you know, when are you doing this, when are you doing that. So I try to put it out on Periscope, I try to put it out on YouTube, I try to put it out for download. So for anybody that's listening in any shape or form, you have it there. It's not a case of, oh, we're only doing it here. There will be some stuff only on YouTube, but never this show. This show will stay like this. Very rarely will it go out only on YouTube, but that would be down to technical issues. It would not be down to me just deciding that I don't want to do that. Where's Grizz? Grizz is in the, I want to say, the Isle of Wight. He's definitely gone off for a few days anyway. He says he deserves it. He says he's working really hard, and he's taking a break. I asked him to do the show, and he said, no, I'm on holiday. No, that's not true. We're just, listen, the lads have lives outside of this. Me, obviously not as much as the lads, because I'm on this fucking every night. But no, Matt has been home in England for a little while. He's been travelling around seeing family, which is absolutely fair enough. And Grizz has gone off for a break with his family, which is fine. So that's all good. Tino says Gav over Grizz. Well, I fully agree with you. I think if anyone thinks any different, I think they're absolutely insane. And I think that's fair enough, don't you? How long have we gone? We're 24 minutes in. So listen, we've 10 minutes or so left. Let's go random. If you have any random questions about anything, just ask it. We'll throw it out there and we'll go for it. Mick, you're missing the context. Grizz misses the fucking context most of the time, let's be honest. Now Grizz is the top fella, both online and in real life. In real life he's just a gem, an absolute gem of a fella. He loves putting context on stuff, and I love him for it. Gav is better than Gutman. I wouldn't go that far. I love the stuff Rob Gutman does for the Anfield Rap. I think he's brilliant. Yeah, he's a top bloke as well. Yeah, so if you have any random stuff, throw it in there and we'll see how we go. Last film you watched? The last film I watched was it was one on Netflix. It was called, and I hope I get this right, the Red Sea Diving Resort. It's about getting refugees out of Somalia or Ethiopia, but it was really, really good. Skipper Dog. That was the last film I watched. I'm on to Mindhunter now, because that's come back. I know Power is coming back in a couple of days. So we have to wait and see. Gav is better than Nina. Who's Nina? And Gav is better than Trev. Is that Trev Downey? Trev, what a bloke. We're still trying to get Trev to come onto the Trippers and have a I don't know, with Shaq, get him, Trev and Phil together would be amazing. Tino says he saw that film, it's ace. Yeah, it was really, really good. Let me see, what pubs do you go to around the ground on match day? Bum, 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 bum. Where do I go? Well, the last time I was up there, I went to the Sandon because I was meeting Jay Riley for a drink. I'd go into the park. I'd go into 12th Man. I'd go into the Albert. I usually go to Hotel Tia after the game for a drink. Yeah, any pub that's around there, really. Nina Kauser. No. Oh, Anfield Index is Nina Kauser. I don't speak about Anfield Index because every time I speak about them, I get in trouble. Can't get in trouble. Didn't you think that the Henderson sub won us the game? Are we, or are we not allowed to say that in case we upset the Twitter pros? I don't think that I don't think that the sub of Henderson won us the game. But you can say whatever you want on this show. I'm not listening. I got told during the week that certain people and around Liverpool and you know, broadcasts like this are here to educate us, and it's a great education. I'm educating nobody. I'm just giving my point of view on stuff. I try to get your point of view across. I get people on to talk to me with their point of view. It's all about opinion. I try to make this as much about like sitting in a pub, having a drink, having opinions, have arguments, agreements, high fives. Yeah, it's all great. So yeah, so that's the way I do it. I don't educate nobody. Trust me, lads. If you're relying on me to educate you, go back to school because listen, it just wasn't. That's not the way it works. It definitely won't work. It's not the way it works here, and it will never work like that. Let me see. Skipper Dog says he's watching Mindhunter. Peaky Blinders is back soon. Peaky Blinders, I watched the first. I think it was only the fourth series. I think they're about 5 in now. Are they about 5 in? I want to get back to Peaky Blinders. I want to get Suits. I think it's about 8 series. I think I watched 6 of them, so I have 2 series of Suits to watch. I have to catch up on Peaky Blinders. I'm up to date on Power. I'm up to date on Mindhunter. But yeah, I'll have to kind of get at them. But look, I do a lot during the day, and then I come in and have a laugh with you during the night time. So it'll have to be late night viewing and a couple of episodes just to catch up. Chris says he just couldn't resist the wind of people take themselves way too serious on Twitter. Listen, Twitter's a fucking asylum, you know. It's absolutely, you know, they should have called it One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, or it should be sponsored by that at least. It's absolutely mad. You know, and what I find with it is there's no argument on it. You know, if someone makes a point, I might make a point back to them, and then they just go off and tell you how great they are. You know, so yeah, no. Twitter's just don't take it too seriously, and anyone that does, take it off your phone, take it off all your devices. Don't watch Manifest, it's shy, says Mick. Thanks, Mick. Cool. Skipper Dog says Power is good, Ozark is good. Watch the 4th series of Ozark, really liked it. I think there's a 2nd series, and I have to catch up on that as well. Jesus, the list is getting longer. I'll never get to watch any of them James Bond films if I have to keep catching up with this with all these programs. But yeah, anything else more random? Have you got anything else me before I go? We're nearly 30 minutes in. If you have anything else random, absolutely shout it at me, and we'll see how we get on. But yeah, what am I doing tonight? After this, I'm recording the fantasy football show. That will be released on YouTube Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'm having a chat with Avi. And when I have a chat with Avi, I will record that and I will release that as well. One will be probably Tuesday, one could be Wednesday. You know, we're trying to do the fantasy football one, record on Sunday night and throw it out on Wednesday. That's going to be with that's going to be in association with 3 Retro. So if you're not, if you do fantasy football and you're not in a league, join the league. Because even though you might be 2 weeks behind, you know, it doesn't matter because we start a new kind of leaderboard every month, and whoever has the best over the month could win a prize with 3 Retro. Viewers, what we do is we do a prize every 1 month for the people on it, and then we do a prize for users who are just watching. What is the Mick is asking for the Fantasy League password. If you just give me a sec, I will tell you now. It is CPWY14. So that's C P for pineapple, W for window, Y for Yazoo, 1-4, and that'll get you. That'll get you everything you need to do. Just get into the group, get into the league, and there will be an overall prize at the end. But if you want to just get in and try moving, and look, you could have a couple of good weeks and fly ourselves up there again, you know. So just get in and get involved. We're going to be doing it. Myself and Tina, we're going to do it for the whole season. Tino says, yeah, Tino's put it up on screen. Tino asked what my favourite biscuits are. And Skipper Dog asked Tato or King. King. King, yeah, King over Tato, and put King salt and vinegar on batch bread with butter. Yeah, that might sound a bit, it might sound a bit rotten, but it's not. Download Sky original series called The Tunnel. I've seen that. That's going back a little bit, wasn't it? But I'll keep it in mind, Chris. I'll keep it in mind. Yeah, we have the fancy league codes in there. Everything is up to date. But yeah, just get involved in the fancy league. Anyone watching this broadcast, anyone that downloads this broadcast, go onto the Fancy Football app, pick your team, join a league, hit in CPWY14. It'll get you into the Trippers League, and what we're going to do is we're going to keep an eye on it, and we're going to give away prizes every month from 3 Retro. They've agreed to do with that. So yeah, so that's all I'm going to say. I'll leave that with you, and sure, we'll have a show during the week. Watch it, see what you think, give us some feedback, let us know. Favourite chocolate, mine is Galaxy Ripple. Galaxy Ripples are on sale in the shops at the moment, 4 of them for €2. They are top drawer. I like Galaxy. My favourite chocolate though, I think I told you this before, Cadbury's Walnut Chris would have to be my favourite bar of chocolate. But if we're just talking general chocolate, you know those little chocolate lint chocolate, the lint chocolate, and they're little, but they got at Christmas you see them around, and there's like they're little balls of chocolate, and there's 3 different types. Like there's a dark chocolate, a standard chocolate, and a white chocolate, and they're amazing. Gav, can you minimise this show so I can listen away while using phone? Not on YouTube, I don't think. Not on YouTube. I think would you knock YouTube off? I think it just disappears. You may be able to do it on Periscope, but if that doesn't work for you, I'll have to download up in a couple of hours, and you'll be able to listen away while afterwards. But I'm not too sure. Most of these things, when you knock them off on your phone, they just disappear. They don't stay on. Which is a bit of annoying. It is a bit annoying. But look, that's been us. That's been the Fatback 4 Daily. Thanks for the football questions. Thanks for the chocolate questions, movie questions. As I always say, and anyone watching now, if you like random stuff, shout random stuff at me anytime. If we're in the middle of reviewing a game, previewing a game, having a big debate about the state of football and the world itself, if you have a random topic, just throw it at me whenever you feel like it. Whenever you feel like it, throw it in there, and I will absolutely answer it. Because to be honest with you, the random stuff I get more enjoyment out of than the football stuff. That's because I'm just a bit weird. Look, that's been it. That's been the Fatback 4 Daily. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday evening. We're back tomorrow night. I should be back tomorrow around 7:45 PM for a half an hour or so. I'll be in studio doing that one, and yeah, we'll see how we get on then. Yeah, good one. Over now.